Alright, so we're back for another video of Money Talks. I'm Dylan Zimmerly, and again, this is Seth Phillips. Nice to have you again, Seth. So today's video is going to be a little bit different than the previous one, which was about mostly the lack of education that there is on finance when it comes to public financial, the public school system in America. But today's video is going to be mostly focused on fiduciaries. And if you don't know what a fiduciary is right now, that's fine. We're going to establish that, and we're going to get into more detail as the video goes along. But to get things started, so Seth, do you know what a fiduciary is?
Apparently, it is someone that is licensed in your state to give you financial advice and guidance.
Yeah, that is exactly what it is. But he only knows that because it's written right here on my computer screen. But yes, that is what a fiduciary is. I'm actually a licensed fiduciary in the state of Maryland, which is besides the point. But we're going to get into the concepts of why people should get fiduciaries, how fiduciaries are underappreciated, as well as just having trust in fiduciaries. So we're going to start with that third one, which is trust. So, do you know anybody who's a fiduciary?
You.
Well, besides me.
By definition, no, I don't think so.
Okay.
At least that I know of.
Okay. Which sounds about right. It follows most of the facts brought in with that. So actually, to be exact, it was found in a recent study that only 42% of participants, when asked to accurately describe what a fiduciary is, only 42% of them could actually do it. And the other 58% couldn't even come up with part of an answer as to what it is. They had no idea what it was in relation to. They had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of the point of today's video, is to get people more informed. So what a fiduciary does is, a fiduciary comes in and they sit down and they kind of just figure out what you got going on when it comes to like income, outcome, like what you're spending and what you're earning. And obviously I'm not going to ask you like how much you earn or anything like that, but do you think that your family could use a fiduciary? Do you think that there could be some ways that you could take those extra dollars and cents that are left over at the end of every month to put them aside or to invest them properly? Do you think that there could be somebody out there who could do that for you guys?
I mean, most likely. I mean, I'm sure there's someone to do that for everyone. I know, at least because my mom works at a bank, she handles that a little bit more closely. But I mean, I think anyone could probably have one.
Do you think that people should get educated on fiduciaries? Do you think banks should provide access to fiduciary firms or private fiduciary firms that get customers in contact with, or I guess people who use the bank in contact with somebody who's going to help them manage the money that they're putting in and out of the bank?
Yeah, most likely. I mean, that comes back around to education. If people don't know how to do it, then if they're smart, then they'll probably get someone to do it for them.
Yeah. Would you allow somebody to come in and talk to you about how much money you have and what they think you should do with it from a professional standpoint?
Yeah, I mean, I think any opinion is always helpful, certainly.
Do you think that a lot of people have to deal with the idea of being shy about their money or being embarrassed about it? Do you think that that's part of the reason why people struggle so much with, when they do find a fiduciary, that they don't make that last phone call to say, yeah, let's sit down and talk, and instead only get to the, yes, I know you exist, and I know what you do, and instead don't ever call them back? Do you think that a lot of people struggle with that?
Yeah, well, I think more so probably, well, it could be that, and also that some people don't want outside help and that they want to do things themselves, and maybe they're shy to talk about with someone, but they just don't want anyone else's opinion.
So a fun fact about fiduciaries. Fiduciaries are at legal obligation, meaning that they can't do anything but their legal obligation to do what is in the best for the client.
Mhm.
So, do you think, with that in mind, do you think people would be more willing to use fiduciaries if they knew that they existed?
Yeah, if people understood that they legally are like obligated, and as long as they're obviously doing everything legally, then they have to do what they're saying they're going to do. Then they probably would trust them to do that.
Yeah, I think so as well. Um, do you think that becoming a fiduciary is something that some young adults or people should do in order to possibly get that financial education that they need, regardless to the fact that they'll be getting a license? Do you think that some people could take a fiduciary course and learn what fiduciaries learn in order to do that for themselves? Now, although they might lose their license if they don't renew it or whatever,
Right.
do you think that people should take classes like this, or classes that are this, in order to learn about the things that they don't know about money if they're not in college, or if they haven't had any financial guidance at all?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can revoke a license, but you can't revoke the information that you've already had.
That is a very good statement. That's very good. I like that. So I actually know somebody who's a fiduciary that I'm related to, and his name is Tommy DiGirolamo. And Tommy's parents, when he was young, used to not make a lot of money. And his parents came into contact with a fiduciary by the name of Bruce Kalk, and Bruce Kalk showed Joe and Cheryl, his parents, how to turn their $50,000 income into something that they could live on and actually retire with. And without that, more than likely, chances are, Tommy's parents wouldn't have been able to retire. They're currently retired now. They're financially set. They're stable. They didn't have to change anything except for they didn't have to change their lifestyle at all. All they had to do was change how money went in and out and where it went. And now Tommy himself actually went under the wing of Bruce Hawk and now makes $600,000 a year, helping people manage their money like you and me, people that are our age, people that are just a little bit older, people that want to retire. And do you think that fiduciaries should be more vocally expressed as an option to people? Do you think that they should be promoted more? Do you think that that should be something that should be more standard for a family, is to have a fiduciary? Like when you go to someone's house and you're talking and say, who helps you guys with your money? Like, who's your guys' fiduciary? Do you think that should be something that people should be able to talk about?
I think people should be able to talk about it. I think, obviously, I feel as though that would probably be more of a case-by-case basis, obviously, on what information they know. I feel like at least just like finances should just be stressed more in general. But I mean, some people, either they're so busy they don't have time to worry about those things, and they should have someone they can trust to do that for them.
Yeah, I agree entirely. But yeah, for today, that's all we have for this topic. Fiduciaries should definitely be not overlooked, and they should definitely be looked into. They're a great way for people to help adjust the way that their income works for them, and help them get in order to retire. Everybody doesn't want to. Not everybody wants to work forever. It's not for everybody. And if that person is you, or if that family is your family, then obviously you might want to get in contact with a fiduciary. But that's today's video. Thank you, and have a great rest of your day.